The Okanagan Sun moved back into the win column last weekend with a 28-8 victory over the Chilliwack Huskers. The Sun now move into sole possession of second place behind the Vancouver Island Raiders, but the Sun do not have a game in hand heading into the final stretch of the season. After a lackluster performance against the Big Kahuna Rams 2 weeks ago, the team was happy to come out firing last weekend and bring home the road win.
I think it helps boost your confidence a little bit. Anytime you lose, especially to a team that you feel you should beat, or a team at least that you beat handily earlier in the year, it affects your confidence a little bit. It makes you kind of double think what you do and wonder if you're really as good as you are. And I don't think, it was terribly rattled after the loss, but ultimately you want to get back on the win path, and they were able to do that last week, and hopefully we can build on the momentum this week.
The squad did falter in the second half of the game after building a 20-1 lead in the first half. Playing a full game has been a challenge for the squad all season, as mental lapses in the final quarters have cost them points on the board both on the defense and offensive side of the ball. It's something they will continue to work on, and they'll look to fix the problem before it really matters come playoff time.
It's the mental aspect that kills you. You try and reduce as many of those mental mistakes as you can. I mean, football is a game with probably, 100 to 120 plays in it, and you're not going to have 12 guys playing perfect, for all 120 plays. So, it's kind of a war that you got to fight every week and just try to improve week to week and, eliminate as many of the mistakes as you can.
And we got to be more solid on defense and offense, and just forget about that. We got to work on the things that are little and not getting too far ahead of ourselves.
And this time of year, everybody knows what's on the line with every game, and obviously once you get into the playoffs. So the thinking time is over. It's now time to go out and react and play, and you have to play 60 minutes.
Okay, what I want is you to come in, give them one step inside, and then go straight up the field.
The Sun will come up against two teams who currently sit below 500 over the next 2 weekends. They first travel to Victoria to take on the Rebels, and then they welcome the winless Vancouver Trojans to the Apple Bowl on September 28th. Even though it may look like two easy games, the squad is focused on not taking either of them lightly, as they look to stay sharp for the final game of the season against the Vancouver Island Raiders, a matchup that will likely decide first place.
It's always important to be focused in football, because if you don't, that's when, problems arise, one, but two, you can get hurt. So, we have to, expect every team that steps on that field is a good football team. Certainly the next two teams we play may not be playoff contending teams, but they both have great athletes. Victoria's picked up a bunch of CIS and ex-junior players from other leagues and other teams. So their talent level is as high as anybody's.
They're going to come out and play the hardest that they can. And, if we don't play 60 minutes, we're going to have the same results we had the last time we played them, and, a lot closer game than it probably should have been. And having the Nanaimo and even the Vancouver Trojans, those two teams are very, very good. If we look at every game like we're playing the best team in the entire country, if we look at it like we're just going to play an average team and they're not very good, then, we're going to get beat, as they say on any given Sunday, right? So, if we come in and give a half effort, we're only going to get a half score kind of out of it, you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to come out and play well.
We don't expect this game to be a blowout. If we're fortunate enough to get up on them, then, we got to play like we're down by 30 points. It really doesn't matter. It's, irrelevant at this point. We got to get ready. We're in the playoffs, one way or the other, so we got to make sure we're ready for those playoffs, preferably with home field advantage, but, that's something, we can control and we'd like to have, but if not, ultimately we got to come out hard and be ready in the playoffs.
The Sun will head to Victoria this weekend to take on the Rebels before returning home on the 28th to take on the Vancouver Trojans. For more information, visit OkanaganSun.ca.